Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sarita Aircrew Official. Today, we're talking about the habits that separate smart seasoned travelers from everyone else. And I have to tell you, Chuckles, after 15 years as a flight attendant, I can spot an experienced traveler from a mile away. They move differently through the airport, they board differently, and they just seem to have this whole flying thing figured out while everyone else is stressed and scrambling. Size. Here's the thing, these smart travelers aren't just lucky, and they weren't born knowing these tricks. They've learned them over time, or someone like me shared the insider secrets with them, and that's exactly what I want to do for you today. I'm going to share 5 specific things that smart travelers do on every single flight, habits that will make your journey smoother, more comfortable, and honestly, just better in every way. These aren't complicated, but they make a massive difference. Excited? So let's dive in. Okay, this first one surprises people every single time I mention it, but hear me out. Smart travelers often board last, not first. I know. You're thinking, Sophia, everyone's fighting to board early. Won't I lose overhead bin space? And yes, that's a legitimate concern, especially on full flights. But here's what most people don't realize about the boarding process. When you board early, you're sitting on that plane for an extra 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes longer if there are delays. You're breathing recirculated air, you're cramped in your seat, and you're watching everyone else struggle past you with their bags, hitting you with their backpacks and elbows. It's stressful and uncomfortable, and you haven't even taken off yet. Smart travelers, especially those in premium cabins or who have elite status, often wait until the final boarding call. They stay in the terminal where they can move around, use the restroom one more time, grab that last-minute snack, or just sit comfortably. Then they board quickly when the chaos has died down. Now, here's the insider perspective. If you're genuinely worried about bin space, here's what I recommend. If you're in a later boarding group and you have a full-size carry-on, then yes, board when your group is called. But if you only have a small personal item that fits under the seat in front of you, you have complete freedom to board whenever you want. You're not competing for bin space. I've seen this play out thousands of times. The passenger who boards last with just a backpack walks onto a calm plane, slides into their seat, and starts their flight relaxed. Meanwhile, the passenger who boarded 35 minutes ago is already exhausted before takeoff. One more tip. If you absolutely must board early for bin space but want to stay comfortable, board with your group, secure your bin space, then tell a flight attendant you need to run back to the terminal for something. We'll let you off and back on. We do it all the time for passengers who forgot something or need one more bathroom run. Just don't abuse this. It's a courtesy, not a loophole. This is probably the smartest, simplest hack I can share with you, and yet I'm shocked by how few passengers actually do this. Smart travelers bring an empty, reusable water bottle through security, then fill it up at a water fountain or filling station before boarding. And let me tell you why this matters so much more than you might think. First, the hydration factor. The air on an airplane is incredibly dry. We're talking about 10 to 20% humidity, which is drier than most deserts. In my 15 years of flying, I've seen passengers get headaches, feel nauseous, and arrive at their destination feeling absolutely wiped out. And a huge part of that is dehydration. When you have your own water bottle, you can sip constantly throughout the flight without having to wait for beverage service or flag down a flight attendant. Here's what's really happening on that plane. We do beverage service, sure, but we give you one small cup, maybe 6 to 8 ounces. If it's a short flight, that might be your only beverage. Even on longer flights, you're looking at maybe 2 or 3 cups over several hours. That's nowhere near enough water for air travel. When passengers have their own bottles, I see them arrive looking fresher, feeling better, and adjusting to their destination more quickly. It makes a real difference. Second, the cost factor. Have you seen the price of bottled water in airports? We're talking $4 to $6 for a basic bottle of water. If you're a frequent traveler, that adds up to hundreds of dollars a year. A good reusable bottle costs you $20 once, and you're done. Third, and this is something I really appreciate as a flight attendant, when you have your own bottle, you're not ringing the call button every 45 minutes asking for water. You're self-sufficient, and that means we can focus on passengers who genuinely need assistance. Now, here's an insider tip about water bottles. Go for one that's at least 24 ounces and make sure it has a secure lid. I've cleaned up too many spills from bottles that opened in bags or tipped over during turbulence, and if you can, choose an insulated bottle. That way, if you fill it with ice water before boarding, it'll stay cold for hours. One passenger told me she started doing this after watching one of my videos, and she said it changed her entire flying experience. She went from arriving dehydrated and exhausted to actually feeling good when she landed. That's a win in my book. This one is so simple, but I wish every single passenger did this. Smart travelers snap a quick photo of the overhead bin where they stowed their luggage before they sit down. Let me paint you a picture of what I see every single flight during deplaning. Passengers stand up, look around confused, and start opening every single bin, trying to remember where their bag is. They're holding up 150 other people. They're stressed, and sometimes they even grab the wrong bag by mistake. Here's what happens when you take that photo. You sit down, you relax during the flight, and when it's time to deplane, you glance at your phone and know exactly which bin. You open it, grab your bag, and you're gone. Efficient, stress-free, and you're not holding anyone up. But there's another reason I love this habit, and this is the part most passengers don't think about. That photo is proof of where you put your bag. Now, I need to be honest with you. Bags rarely go missing from overhead bins, but it does happen. Maybe someone accidentally took your bag thinking it was theirs. Maybe it got moved during boarding to make room for other bags. If you have a photo with a timestamp showing your bag in a specific bin, that's documentation. It helps us flight attendants investigate, it helps with airline reports, and if there's ever a dispute, you have evidence. I've seen this save passengers several times. Here's my pro tip. Take the photo at an angle where you can see your bag and the bin number or row number in the same shot. Most overhead bins have row numbers marked. That way, your photo shows exactly where your bag was placed. This takes 5 seconds, but it can save you 15 minutes of stress and confusion at the end of your flight. And if you're on a connecting flight where every minute counts, those 15 minutes could be the difference between making your connection or missing it. Trust me, once you start doing this, you'll wonder how you ever traveled without this habit. It's such a small thing, but it makes deplaning so much smoother. Okay, this one might sound obvious, but you'd be amazed at how many passengers treat flight attendants like they're invisible or, worse, like servants. Smart travelers know that a simple, genuine interaction with the crew can transform their entire flight experience. Let me be really clear about something. I'm not talking about sucking up or being fake. I'm talking about basic human kindness and recognition. When you board, make eye contact, smile, and say hello. Ask us how we're doing. If we help you with your bag, say thank you. That's it. That's the whole secret. Here's what happens from our perspective. We deal with hundreds of passengers every day. Some are rude, some are demanding, and some treat us like we're robots. So when a passenger is genuinely kind and friendly, we notice. And we remember, I'm not saying we give preferential treatment or break rules, but here's the reality. If there's an extra snack box, it's going to the nice passenger. If there's a question about moving seats, we're more likely to accommodate the person who's been pleasant. If there's a delay and we're making announcements, we might give a heads up to the friendly passenger about tight connections. I once had a passenger, elderly gentleman traveling alone, who greeted me by name when he boarded and asked how my day was going. During the flight, his seatmate was difficult, constantly ringing the call button and complaining. When we had some turbulence and had to suspend beverage service temporarily, guess who I quietly brought a cup of coffee to when things calmed down? The kind gentleman, not the complainer. Here's another insider secret. If you're friendly with the crew, we're more likely to give you the benefit of the doubt if something goes wrong. If your bag is slightly oversized but you've been lovely, we might let it slide. If you need an extra few minutes before we close the door, we'll try to accommodate you, and it goes beyond just getting perks. When you're kind to us, we genuinely want your flight to go well. We'll check on you more often, we'll be more helpful with questions, and we'll advocate for you if issues come up. The smartest travelers understand that we're all human beings just trying to do our jobs and get through the day. They treat us with respect and kindness, and their flights are better because of it. It's really that simple. Okay, this last one is what truly separates the smart travelers from everyone else. They have what I call a plane survival kit, a collection of essential items kept in their personal item bag that stays under the seat in front of them. Here's why this matters. Your carry-on goes in the overhead bin. Once you're seated and the plane is full, you're not getting back up to that bin until we land. If you need something mid-flight, it better be in the bag under your seat or you're out of luck. So what's in this survival kit? Let me share what the smartest travelers always have. First, hand sanitizer and disinfecting wipes. Planes are not as clean as you'd hope. We do our best, but there are back-to-back flights all day long. Smart travelers wipe down their tray table, armrests, and seatbelt buckle as soon as they sit down. This takes 30 seconds and significantly reduces your exposure to germs. Second, snacks. Real snacks, not just a granola bar. I'm talking about protein-rich options like nuts, cheese sticks if your flight is short, protein bars, or dried fruit. Here's the truth. Airline snacks are minimal, and if you have dietary restrictions, you might not get anything that works for you. Plus, eating regularly helps with jet lag and keeps your energy stable. Third, medications and essential health items. This includes your prescription medications, obviously, but also pain relievers, antacids, motion sickness tablets, and any supplements you take regularly. I've had passengers get splitting headaches mid-flight with nothing to take, and we can't provide medications. Don't check these. Always keep them in your personal item. Fourth, entertainment that doesn't rely on power or Wi-Fi. A book, a magazine, downloaded content on your device, or even a deck of cards. Wi-Fi fails, batteries die, and seatback screens malfunction more often than you'd think. Smart travelers have backup entertainment that works no matter what. Fifth, a change of essential clothes. This is especially important on longer flights or if you have connections. An extra shirt, underwear, and socks in your personal item means that if your checked bag goes missing or if you spill something, you're not stuck. I've seen passengers miss important meetings or events because their luggage was delayed and they had nothing to change into. Sixth, charging cables and a portable battery. Your phone is your boarding pass, your entertainment, your communication device, and sometimes your only way to rebook if there's a problem. Keep it charged. And finally, comfort items. For me, that's a travel pillow, eye mask, and my own earbuds. Some passengers bring a small blanket or scarf, compression socks for long flights, or lip balm and moisturizer for the dry air. I know this sounds like a lot, but all of this fits in a standard personal item bag, a backpack or large purse. And once you have your kit assembled, you just transfer it from bag to bag each time you travel. The difference this makes is remarkable. While other passengers are uncomfortable, unprepared, and constantly asking for things, smart travelers are settled in, self-sufficient, and actually enjoying their flight. They're not dependent on the airline for their basic comfort and needs. So, there you have it. 5 things that smart travelers do on every single flight. They board last to avoid stress, they bring an empty water bottle to stay hydrated, they photograph their overhead bin for easy deplaning, they're genuinely kind to the flight attendants, and they pack a plane survival kit in their personal item. These aren't complicated strategies. None of them require special status or extra money. They're just smart habits that come from understanding how air travel actually works and being prepared. I want you to feel empowered the next time you fly. You don't have to be stressed or uncomfortable or unprepared. You can be that calm, confident traveler who has everything under control. That's what I want for you. If you found this helpful, Please subscribe to the channel. I share insider tips like this every week, and I'd love to have you as part of our community. And let me know in the comments, which of these 5 tips are you going to try on your next flight? Or do you have a smart travel habit that I didn't mention? I'd love to hear from you. Safe travels, everyone, and I'll see you on the next flight.